Coach, and then question, go ahead.
The game was, I knew it was going to be tight. You just know it was going to be tight after what happened Friday. And then yesterday, those run rules, and you walk somebody off in a 7 inning game and they sit there and watch it. And I told our guys we're going to get their best shot today. And I thought their left-hander, he pitched pretty good. He survived getting through that first inning. And then his pitch count was right at 30. I thought, well, got a chance to get him out of the game maybe after four with 80, 90 pitches, and then he settled in a little bit, put together a couple of decent innings. Um, we had, the one inning we had three balls to the warning track or farther, and but you don't get any base runners, and it goes pretty quick, and you could kind of feel the momentum swinging over to them a little bit. They hit some balls hard right at us, and it's just baseball. It's interesting, but I feel like that our pitchers did a really good job. We didn't walk anybody all day. We did hit a batter on an 0-2 pitch, unfortunately. But bullpen came in, and for the most part, they all did their job and gave us an opportunity to keep the game where it was. As far as Landon starting, thought his first few innings were really good. I mean, he busted a fastball in there at 95 at one time, but he pitched early. He pitched more with some off speed, mixing in some fastballs, and then he kind of flipped it in the middle. Second, third, fourth inning, more fastballs, and pitched off of that pretty well. So I do believe that Portland was starting to get really comfortable with left-handed pitching. If you look at it, maybe we should have brought a right-hander in there after Landon was throwing. But Coyle had been, kind of our better reliever, one of the better, hottest relievers coming out of the pen, and it was a little bit of a touchy situation. But I just, you think about him root yesterday, and then we go with Fisher, and then we start another lefty, and then we bring another lefty in, and they were getting really comfortable with left-handed pitching. But uh, and we knew coming into the series they were hitting right at 300 off lefties. We don't know how many they faced, but overall it's a good win. It's hard to beat anybody three times in a row on the weekend, no matter how the first two go. And they're solid. They played a lot better defense today than maybe they did Friday. Um, it was it was a game we had to earn it, even though we got out hit. We just didn't make any mistakes.
Landon's been so good for you guys to start the season. Is it good maybe to see him? He gives up 8 hits that maybe doesn't have his best stuff, but able to grind out five innings and put you guys in a position to win.
Well, I think he pitches with a little bit of an attitude, and I could tell when he came out of the game, when I saw him in the dugout, I could tell he's frustrated with himself. He gave up the long home run. He left the ball out over the plate, and just I guess to answer your question, you're probably going to have to ask him. I do believe that anytime you don't have your best stuff and you still only give up a few runs, that's a positive. So I guess I'd have to say, yeah.
Jimenez, Fouch, Wiggins, no hits allowed there in the last 3 innings. Just when you get those three guys and they all have to pitch only one inning, I mean, how valuable can that be over the course of a weekend, and maybe even looking forward to a season when it's this smooth of a performance in one game?
Yeah, I think what it does for them, and obviously it builds their confidence, but at the same time, the opposing team doesn't get a very good look at them. They don't get to go through a second time or even sit on the bench and see three or four or five hitters before they get up. If all goes well, and maybe figure out some tendencies or what's up. But they all have good stuff, and you can use them a couple innings each, or you can use them one inning here and there, and probably use them twice on the weekend.
Is everything good with Vahiva? No, you took him out early put Frazier in at second.
Yeah, he was getting a little tight. One of his legs was getting a little bit tight, so I just said I'm taking him out. He didn't want to come out, but obviously we want to win the game, but we got some other guys that could play a little bit as well, and we'll see if we can get him loosened up a little bit for Tuesday. And if not, we'll wait till Friday.
I think it's 9 straight errorless games. I think Andrew was going to look at that. Did you remember a stretch like that before, or maybe longer?
You had to bring that up, didn't you? Yeah, I appreciate that.
They didn't charge one there in the last inning. So
Yeah, it's yeah, I would say that you know, we'll play solid defense. You know, you're going to go 5 or 6 games in a row without an error or whatever. Plus that, it's so you got to be a little lucky to do that. Guys are making plays, routine plays. Sometimes you're just going to get a bad hop or an in between hop or pull somebody off the bag. But yeah, I don't know. It's been good. And like I said, if you don't give them anything, I mean, they got 27 at bats today and they didn't get 30. Giving them 30, they might have beat us. And we didn't walk people. And maybe we gave them 28 at bats. Well, I'm thinking about outs, excuse me. I just feel like that we didn't give them extra outs. And if you do that, don't walk people, you got a chance to win every game.
looked like Wiggins' warm-up pitches maybe counted one strike out of there. Does that ever give you all pause when you see a guy do
No,
that?
no, I've seen guys that won't throw it anywhere near the plate warming up. I don't watch them usually. And you just kind of learn some guys are just that way. And then hitter steps in the box and it's a different thing. And, he might have struck that hitter out that reached base twice. I thought the pitch was a strike. He didn't call. Looked pretty good from the side, unless it was outside. And I don't know. And then, the ball in the dirt, Ryder thought he had it in his glove and went to tag him. He was just a little sped up there and, just got a little crazy. And, you don't want to get that tie and run to the plate if you don't have to.
I guess on the fair foul call on the sixth, is that something that you like to see rewritten where the umpires can go take a look at it, even though if it's, in front of the third baseman? Or
Talking
first
about the
baseman?
foul ball off the
Yeah.
leg. Yeah, I think the way the rule is that if you call it foul, or excuse me, if you call it fair, you can't take it back. I don't know. That's what he was trying to tell me. And he said he wished it would be reviewable. But yeah, I mean, you can see if a pitch hits somebody, but I guess if they swing and it's not called foul, I thought it was an easy call. Now, give credit to the hitter. Usually, the hitter will take a little longer to get out of the box when they foul one off their shin, pretty obviously. But he just hesitated just to touch, and he was gone. And I think it kind of fooled the umpires a little bit because he thought, he's pretty smart. He thought, hey, that's in a good spot. I can beat that. And he took off.
And then your vantage point on the play that Thomas made there in center, just is that kind of the value that you have for him, not only hitting ninth in that spot, and then also, playing center?
Yeah, it was a really good play. When it was off the bat, I thought it had a little bit of topspin. I didn't think it was going to go quite as far as it did, but the wind's kind of pushing a little bit. The air's thin. He went back and he knew when he jumped he was going to hit that wall pretty quick. And I like that he kind of secured it with both hands, and that was a really good play.
When you had, 4 straight run rules this past week, does that change your ability to kind of get different guys work out of the bullpen? Do you still feel okay about the amount of work you've been able to get guys?
Yeah, we talked about that last night after the game in here. It was more of I don't mind the run rule on the weekends, maybe in the middle of the week. That's when you're going to get some of your guys more of the work. But we play 56 games and it's 4 weeks, sometimes 5. Sometimes you're thinking probably if you were on the other end of it, man, let's get out of here. I don't want to use any more guys. We're getting whipped. Let's get ready for Friday. And then sometimes if you're winning by a lot, unless you have that one guy or 2 guys that need a little bit of work, you kind of have the same feeling. Arms start to get tired mid-season on, and that's when you're trying to protect them. But, maybe we shouldn't do it till the second half of the season. I don't know. But we talked about it as a staff after the game in our locker room that, run rule has probably cost a couple of our freshmen from pitching.
Are you expecting to start Fisher on Tuesday?
You're already getting me for Tuesday. Let me think here. There's a really good chance he'll pitch, but I won't be able to tell you 100%. And, he threw a little bit yesterday. We didn't throw him very long, but there is a really good chance, but I won't know until we see how he feels tomorrow. Does that thing even work? I don't even realize. Where are the speakers?
Uh, I know we've talked about the run rule a lot, but does it change your plan for Tuesday now? Like that you might want to get due to different pitching approach in the midweek because of the run rules. Of course, you could have a run rule then too. I'm just curious how it changes your plan moving forward.
You know, it won't. I don't feel like it's changed our plan. Or there might have been a guy like McIntyre, McGuire that didn't pitch. Um, they're more available now, but we still would like to have those guys available for the weekend. So it's always the game plan going into Tuesday, and a lot of time that game plan is after you finish the last game that you play before, but then we have to talk to our guys tomorrow, see how they're feeling. And then there might be somebody that threw yesterday or even today a little bit, maybe one of those, four relievers. Hey, before the game, how are they feeling? Or I'll talk to Coach Hobbs and say, should I put so-and-so on the board today? Or I'll say, I don't think we should pitch this guy because we really may need him Friday, and that's more important. So yeah, there's a lot of discussion on who to pitch and who not to pitch midweek games.
You talked at Squatters Club on Monday a lot about not wanting to be, kind of happy that you guys aren't peaking right now. Obviously, a really good weekend for the hitters. Just how are you feeling now that SEC play, we're almost right there with this weekend behind you about where the team stands right now?
Well, if you're just talking wins and losses, it's about as good as it can get. There's probably 5 or 6 other teams in our league can tell you the same thing. Our league is absolutely dominating. The stats are crazy, and so league play, it's still baseball. It's still everything's the same. It just means more, and you want to win in league. But I feel good about where we're at. I don't think we're peaking by any means. I think that we got 3 or 4 guys that are swinging it great for a couple of days, and 2 others have a couple of really good days. And defense has been steady. I think we've continued to get better out there. The outfield has settled down a little bit defensively. As far as pitching, there's still some roles to be won, so to speak, and still not 100% sure who you want to finish a game if it's a 1-run lead, but then again, it depends on who's available, and yeah, there's still a lot to figure out with this team, which is a good thing.
I know anything late new with Gage. Was he able to do anything this week in the build up to, I guess the week?
Yeah, he's spinning the ball a little bit, and man, he's rolling right along. So I don't feel like it's going to be on the long side of any recovery. I think it'll be shorter if anything, and it's up to him. But we still have to get him back up on a mound and start letting it fly a little bit so we can figure out where he's at. But I mean, he's throwing a baseball, throwing 90 feet or whatever, and playing hard catch, and he feels good.
Go. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks.